Welcome back, everyone. So today we got the big bore all fixed up. Gonna put it on the dyno, see what kind of power it puts out. Alrighty, we got all the transfer cleaned up, and I got those straddle ports raised up, so it shouldn't leak there. Transfer cleaned up real nice, and we'll get this cylinder cleaned and stuck back down. The nice thing about having this, even if that JB weld breaks out or whatnot, I can always redo it and I can map this sleeve like so. So I can map this sleeve out and I can duplicate it. I can poke all the holes through before I drop the sleeve in and save a ton of time hand grinding it all. But you got to get the first one done, and that's why I'm not worried about any of these little marks and whatnot. Same thing, these rings, they're going to seat right into that iron liner. So that's not going to be a big deal either. But this may actually even run better, so that might have been a blessing that it had issues and locked up on us. This extension is already a good bit lower than what the factory was. There's no marks in the case from it contacting anywhere. Sometimes they like to get into it over here. There's a mark right here. It's ever so slight, but it's from the transfer cap hitting on the case. So I'll get that clearanced a little bit. Alrighty. So we got those spots clearanced on the cap and on the case. So we should be good to go now. Put a coat of Hylamar on both surfaces. This stuff tacks up real nice. Never fully dries. A little bit of oil in the cylinder. And now we'll get it put down. Before we bolt it down all the way, we're going to make sure everything looks sealed. We got clearance there now. Nothing hitting over here. No, everything looks good there. Alrighty. Now we'll get this bolted down. I was talking to Kevin Levanway, XS Saws, and he was saying he's seen some 572s, some of the 5 Series, come in brand new and have some issues with something gunked up in the carb. So we're going to pull this off and see if this little screen is gunked up in here. No, this one looks clean. But if your 5 Series does develop an idle issue or a small running issue, it could be that screen plugged up. I have heard that and seen that. And like I said, that's what Kevin told me to check on this one. So we checked it, but that wasn't the problem here. I think the main issue was that air leak. So it was either the muffler holding it up, well, probably a combination of both. The muffler holding it and that little spot there that it was just ever so touching it, but the way that the bolt pattern's so far back on this case, there's nothing really clamping down this edge, and this edge is where it was leaking. So I threw a new fuel filter on just in case. Got that put back together. slotted these muffler holes so it has more room to slide down now. These mufflers are actually pretty stout pieces, so that makes sense. If it was binding up there too, that would help the angle that they're at when it's clamped tight to the cylinder. If these are pushing it up, then that would make sense why it would also push back. Alrighty, here it is, all back together. Version 2.0, hopefully. Get it fueled up and see if she fires up again. It works again. Alright, here it is, all up close. So it just looks like a blacked out 572, 565, whichever you want to call it. Since there's no stuffers, this one is 565. What do you guys think? Wish Husqvarna would make a big bore? I sure do, because it'd save a whole lot of trial and error that I've got into this one. But just want to show you guys, even with the big muffler mod, still fits under there. See right in the can. But other than that idling issue, seems to be alright. I'm going to leave it together for now and get some time on it. See if anything changes once the ring seat's in. But I just want to show it up close. Alright, thanks a lot everyone. Hey look, it's back on the bench again. No, it's not scored this time, I don't think. But I just pulled it off the dyno. And not super thrilled. It's got some extra torque. Falls out on top. I'm gonna tear it down again, change the porting around, and we're gonna give it a touch of timing. I'm not sure if this is the exact same coil as the 572 or not, but I'm gonna try those two things and we'll be back. But I just want to share with everybody. So it sounds good, feels good, it's got some power, but not quite what I was hoping for. I'd really like to see it above that upper red line there for my ported 572. So, fingers crossed, we'll see if we can beat that. Alrighty, we raised up the exhaust to 99. Raised the transfers to 117. So we'll get this put back on and we'll try it again. One of these days I'll end up building another one. Starting over where I can fix the stratos. But we're going to keep going with this one. See what we can do with it. Alright, maybe the third time will be a charm. Alright, put the fuel back in it. See if we can get it to fire up. Sure are getting good at firing it up. Well, it runs again. You turd. Alrighty, we tried advancing the timing a little bit. Let's see what that does. Alrighty, here's the results. We got, this is the stock, 565 down here. This dark blue line, that's a ported 572 I did. The pink line is the second round of the 79. And the blue line is added a timing advance to 79. So you can see this one really seemed to like that timing advance. Didn't really add any peak power, but smoothed it out a little bit and added more low end. Moving that exhaust up, shortening the blowdown, definitely raised up the power versus what it was. And after I run it in for a while, I might even try shortening it a little bit more to get this power moved up. But overall, not too bad. We went from 5.59 horse to 7.4 and 3.81 to 5.21 foot-pounds of torque. That's a huge jump in torque. That is one thing that this 79cc build does have. It builds the torque. And that's even what this 572 was. I tried to add some torque into that one, and you can see that's a pretty healthy jump still.